Today's gonna be a long day, man. I'm sorry you don't have enough
It
time.
better not be. All right, here we are back again, folks. The All in All podcast. You know me, Nor, and my co-host here, Thomas. Coming
What's
in
up? What's
from
up?
two different parts of the world, or the country, I should say. And yeah, here we
Dude,
go.
shit keeps popping on my fucking screen, bro. Actually getting pissed off.
All right. So what's going
Uh,
on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. What's the big news with you? Go ahead, tell me, tell me. New setup? We see you got a new setup.
Yeah,
The
I moved.
viewers see you got a new setup. What's going on, man?
I moved. This was pretty well known if you've seen like the last 4 episodes, 5 episodes of the pod. I've been saying I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, and here we are. I moved.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Big milestone.
Had all the boys over yesterday, minus
Big
Thomas.
milestone.
I think the whole group chat showed up actually, except for
So,
Thomas. How did that make you feel?
what did you say?
I said the whole group chat showed up except for Thomas.
Yeah, I know. It sucks. It is what it is. Like, I can do about it. I'm not there. So what do you want me to fucking do? Nothing. So that's that.
Nothing you
Why is
can do.
my hat? My hat is twisted. You see that? I don't like that. Shouldn't be twisted like that.
Your fucking
Okay,
whole
that's better.
head is like tilted the other way.
Yeah. It's all right. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done paying attention to that shit. All right.
Okay.
Week was good. Lions about to win tomorrow, and we're gonna get right into it as always. All right. First
Wait,
question
Lions play
for
on
all the
Monday? They don't
viewers.
play today? What's today? Today's Sunday.
No, they play Monday.
Okay.
Sunday. Yeah, they play Monday. Okay, so first question for all the viewers that are wondering, many viewers that are wondering what all in all means. We should give them a little background on what all in all means, how we came up with the name, you know? How did we come up with the name? Do you remember?
Not really. I think we were just thinking of I think I forget which one of us came up with it though. I think it was kind of a group effort, but I also think it was mostly me.
No.
Okay, what made up story
Oh
do you
my
got?
goodness. That's why I
What
wanted to ask you. That's why
what
I wanted to
made
ask
up
you because
story do
I
you
knew you
got?
were just so off, bro. You were so off.
Okay,
I
okay, let's
remember
hear
because I want to make a podcast. We had talked about making a podcast for a while, right? And then
it. Yeah.
we're talking about names. We're brainstorming. And I'm like, well, I want it to be about everything. So how about it's all in all? Because it's all in all. It's everything, right? It's a little bit of everything, right? Everything and everything and all, right? And then at the end of the podcast, we can always say all in all or back again, all in all, like just random shit like that. But I 1,000% came up with it. I remember this day when we were talking, and yes, so that's why I wanted to ask because I knew you were going to be wrong.
I
Uh,
feel
um,
like that's not true.
yeah, yeah, it is 1,000%. It is 1,000%. So
I doubt it, but okay.
yeah, all
Okay,
right.
continue.
But all in all, basically means
It
a
means
little
all
bit
in
about
all.
everything.
Yeah, it's all
So
in all.
yeah, it means all in all, right? It's just a phrase
It's
that's
kind of like
used,
it
and
is what
we're
it
gonna make it
is.
popular.
Yeah, it's almost like
Yeah,
it's like it
exactly,
is what it
exactly.
is, but it's all in all. Dude, do you hear my fire?
It's all in
I
all.
gotta get new batteries for my fucking smoke detector, and that bitch just beeps every like 10 minutes, or not even like every like minute and a half.
Oh.
And I've just been living with it. But all in all, you know what I mean?
All in all, come on now, come on now. All right, you're done. You're done using your phone, eh? All right, let it slide one time. That's
I
it,
was
bro.
looking.
Fuck that
Okay, first
shit.
of all, you didn't let anything slide. I was looking for the text, but I couldn't find it because it was over. I know it was over text.
Yeah, of course, bro. No, it was over. It was over. We were calling. I called you,
Are you
and I was
sure?
like, "Yo, I'm about to move in. Yeah, I'm about to move into my apartment, so we're gonna start recording. Remember?" and I bought the camera, and then we started.
Yeah. All right.
But
When did we start the
all right,
podcast?
so
What?
3 months ago, three
Three
months ago we
months
started.
ago?
That was the first episode. Yeah, a little bit over 3 months ago, which is crazy, right? We've been doing this for 3 months, but yeah,
It doesn't feel like 3 months. But
it
I think
doesn't.
what is
It
this,
doesn't.
episode
It doesn't feel like
15?
3 months.
Yeah, well, about to be 4 months.
This is episode 14. 14. I think
You
this is
sure?
maybe episode 14.
You might be right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so we got a little bit about everything. That's what all in all is. We talk a little bit about everything. I come up with the topics, nor answers. Usually takes like 15 fucking minutes to answer the question, but that's fine. And so we'll get right into it as always. First question. Do you tell a girl you're about to kiss her when you kiss her?
No,
Or do you
what?
just go
That's
in?
crazy.
Like, you know
That's
how in movies, you know how, go ahead.
no. I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Well, you know how in movies, like usually like the guy's like, I'm about to kiss you now. Is that okay? And then he goes and he kisses it,
That's a crazy movie.
Or like the
I feel like in
sexual
movies, I feel like in
like
movies it's usually like an intimate face to face, and then they both kind of lean in. But I don't know what type of weird pornos you'd be watching.
no, dude, there's a lot of movies where the guy asks 100%.
Okay,
And
I've never
I mean,
asked.
I don't know.
That's really weird.
I've never yeah, I've never asked either. But I don't think it would be weird, right? Like comment down like maybe like I don't know. I don't feel like it would be weird, like for a girl's perspective, for like the man to ask if he's not too sure about it. I mean, I usually don't ask, but
I mean, I feel like you kind of
I
know
don't
the
think it's
moment when it's there. No, maybe I'm tripping.
yeah. I think so too. I think so too. I don't think it's a bad thing to ask. I mean, I think yeah, it's like a
I think
little
it's
bit weird,
weird.
but
I don't think it's bad. It's
yeah,
weird though. It's like, hey, can I
yeah,
kiss you? It's
I
like
agree.
that's kind of gay.
N- Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like that. It's more like I'm about to kiss you right now, like, and then you're just making a statement of what you're about to do.
Gay is gay, you know.
Like,
All in all, gay is
uh,
gay.
if you're kissing a girl and you're telling her you're gonna kiss her, that's gay.
All in all,
Sure
you're
thing,
gay.
bud. Sure thing. That's clipping. We're clipping that shit for sure. All right. So, second question is, do you ever wonder, do you ever wonder, what it would be like to be like a certain animal?
Of course, almost
And
every
if
day.
so, like what animal would you be if you had the choice?
If I had the choice of being any animal, and I'm so here's the thing, like I'm clearly like the smartest version of that animal. I kind of want to be something that can fuck. So probably like I don't want to be an animal and just like give up puss. You know what I'm saying? Um, because like my first thing was like, oh, great white shark, just be the fucking killer in the ocean. But
Okay.
no penis on a great white shark, as far as I know. I don't know, maybe like a tiger, something like a big like, predator.
Oh yeah. I feel like the common answer is a lion, right? But like me, I would want to be
I
like
think a
any
tiger.
type
I
of
think a
bird.
tiger fucks up a lion though.
No,
Yeah, full grown
no.
male
You're
tiger
just
versus a full grown
you're
male lion fucks it up. Tiger is actually the king of the jungle. Lions don't even
not
live in the
when
jungle.
not when Mufasa is there. Don't act crazy. Don't talk crazy. Mufasa
Mufasa ain't
kill that
got shit on
motherfucker.
a tiger though.
You damn right he does, bro. Mufasa smoked that motherfucker.
No, I mean
But
maybe Mufasa
if
because
you're
he's got
wondering,
plot armor. He got plot armor, and that's not fair.
okay, sure, bro. Look, if you were wondering what animal I would be, I'll tell you my answer. I would be either a bird or like any like sea animal because I feel like it would be so dope to fly, to be able to
Any
fly
sea
anywhere.
animal,
You know what I'm saying?
any.
Because like I feel like also it would be dope to like live in the sea and like go anywhere in the sea. Like I don't want to be like an animal that's on land. Like
Yeah,
if
but
that
like
is the case, like I
you don't want
want
to
to be a
be.
bird because I can fly. You know what I'm saying? Like flying would be so dope to be able to just fly everywhere.
Yeah, it depends
I
what
think
kind of
like that
bird
would be
though.
so
Like you just
sick.
don't want to be like a robin. You want to be like a fucking like a hawk or an eagle.
Yeah, sure. I don't really care as long
And
as
you
I
don't
can
want to be like
fly.
a sea lion. You don't want to be a sea lion and get fucking cooked by orcas or a great white shark. You want to be
No, I
you
mean
want to
if
be the
any,
fucking killer whale or the great white shark.
yeah, I would be a whale. I would be a whale. I think it'd be cool to be a whale.
Like a killer whale or like a blue whale.
Like Free Willy. I want to be like Free Willy.
Like Moby Dick, like a giant blue
Like
whale.
Free Willy, bro.
I don't know who
Have you
Free
not
Willy
seen
is.
Free
I don't
Willy?
know who Free Willy is.
Have you not seen the movie Free Willy?
No, I'm not gay. All in all, I'm not gay.
Dude, you haven't had a childhood, bro. Like your childhood was so messed up.
Free
That's why you're like this,
Willy.
bro. That's why you're like this, bro. It's honestly sad. It's sad.
Okay, Free
It's sad.
Willy is a killer whale. Okay, so you could have just said
Yeah.
yeah. So you could have just said yeah, killer whale.
Yeah, but I said Free Willy because I wanted to make sure that you just didn't know what the fuck who the fuck Free Willy
No,
like
no,
Willy
doubt
is
that.
crazy. Crazy. I bet you 99% of the people out there have seen Free Willy, but you. But
And
that's
good for
fine.
them. Good for them. I still know what a killer whale is though. And they're not here talking to you,
It's
are
getting a
they?
little bit hostile up in here, man. Getting a little bit hostile up here, man. All right. Next. Oh yeah. Okay. So that question I already asked. So the final question that's a little bit stupid, and then we're gonna go into like the real meat and potatoes. Is do you think anybody switches from Android to iPhone if they've already been on like Android for like 10 years or
I
like
think there's
same
more.
thing? If you like,
Go ahead.
go ahead. I was
We
gonna say
got we got to
like
treat this
the
shit
other way
like
around.
what's that game show where it's like Jeopardy, where it's like
Hmm.
you're not supposed to answer the question until it's done being answered. I always start answering the question before it's done being asked. But
Yeah, bro. I know you always interrupt me. It's okay.
well,
I'll
then
let it
you ask
slide.
me. There's like a short pause, and then because I get the question, I know where you're going. I think there's more people switching from Android to iPhone than there are iPhone to Android.
Okay, but like, what would you say the percentage is? Because like I asked my buddies who have Android, and they're gonna die Android, and I know I'm gonna die iPhone. I'm never switching to Android. No chance,
Yeah,
bro.
no chance. Like a second phone, I'd probably go Android. I probably wouldn't have two iPhones, but I don't know what the percentage would be. Less than 20% people switch.
Yeah, I would say less than five. And dude, do you remember those people that had Android in high school, and you would Snapchat them, and the quality would be so fucking shit on Snapchat?
Android
Like
got
Snapchat
such a
just
bad
didn't like
rap, dude.
Android, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
they got such a bad rap. Android
And
got
they would
cooked
post
in
a
high school.
video. They would post a video on their story, and it's just all like,
But like you watch it on their phone, it's better quality than an iPhone, which is so crazy.
yeah, exactly.
Like
I know
horrible.
that's what I think is crazy too. It's like as soon as you upload it to Snapchat, the quality is shit, you
Dude,
know.
but
But
even to
before
this
that,
day,
it's like
because
it's
of
fine.
iMessage, because it's like, or maybe at least at the beginning of this year when I ran into the issue, I was sending pictures of somebody on an Android from my iPhone, and the pictures just got sent to them mad blurry, and it was just because of like the system that iMessage is like built on is a super old. So I'd actually have to send pictures through Snapchat to somebody with an Android so it'd come out how it looks and not be blurry.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah, sending pictures.
and
That's
also
what's I
just
think that's crazy too.
what?
Like sending pictures like to Android or from Android to iPhone, like the quality just changes so much just based on like how you send it. Like I think that's actually crazy, bro. But
All right, continue. Where were we at?
no, we were talking about iPhone and Android, and I just think it's kind of crazy how like where you send like a picture impacts like how it's sent, like how it's received, you know? Like
Right.
like every medium is like not built equal. And like I think that's
Yeah, of
kind of
course.
crazy.
And plus, the whole iPhone like ecosystem is pretty legit. like iMessage, for instance, Apple Watches,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
All right.
Okay,
Next on the agenda.
now we're getting into the serious topics, man. So I need you to lock in, all right? Serious face. Like, no more time to joke around. This is kind of like I want to look back at these videos at some point in my life and look back and to see like where I was at, and like who I wanted to be.
Okay.
And hopefully we have some people following us on this journey that we're taking. So my question was, what kind of man do you want to be? What do you want people to see when they see you?
Go ahead. Go. You go first.
Well, I got this from a movie I saw the other day, The Forge, which is a Christian movie. Pretty good. Got me teary eyed a little bit. And they asked a question to the guy, right? And and he's like, "Well, I want people to respect me. I want when I walk in, I want respect." And I agree. I agree with that statement. I want respect. I want people to respect me. I want people to, I don't know, to see somebody that like they would want to be like. You know what I'm saying? Because like when I see like the people that I admire, like my grandpa, right? Like I always wanted to be like him, and that's why like he's like one of my role models because like I know it seems like he did everything right. Like of course he didn't, but like to me it seems like he did everything right. And like I want somebody to like look up to me, like my kids, like in the future, hopefully, and like if I have grandkids, which I hope I do, that they look up to me, that they're like, damn, like he did it right. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of man like I want to be. Like I want to be a man who's like deep rooted in his values and do the right thing more often than not, which is tough. But yeah,
Yeah, I'd say something very similar
but
to that. Pretty much exactly. Um.
do you think about it often?
Yeah. I mean, of course, but like, who doesn't? Like, think about who they want to be or be portrayed as. It's like you
Mhm.
obviously you want to be respected. You want to be somebody that holds true to what they believe in. But most of all, I want to have a good time.
Yeah, true. But like I think about like also like why I like this talk this question, right? Damn, I'm stuttering. Is because like I know we have this pod, right? And I know we say a lot of like stupid shit, like it's like funny shit. And I think about like if I had kids at some point, like would I want them to look at the podcast? Would I
Right.
want them to watch like these videos? Like some videos probably not, but like I hope that like most of the time like what I'm saying on here is what I would say to them. Like maybe not directly, but I wouldn't be scared to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just what I think. And
It's who you are.
like the way like yeah, exactly.
And we're just fucking around.
Yeah. Most of the time. Like when we talk about women and shit, like it's fine. Like we joke around, we say shit that like maybe it offends some people, but I don't know, I'll always say that. If I'm not saying it to a camera, I'm saying it to my buddies, so I don't really give a
Yeah.
shit,
You're saying it to the mirror. That it.
Fuck these bitches, man.
Whoa, whoa. That
Nah,
hasn't been on the pod.
I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. No, women make the world go round. But okay, so a man who wants respect. So that ties in kind of to like my next question, which is, what are your goals for the next 5 years? Do you have goals?
Yeah. Not all of them I want to talk about here, but I'd say they're pretty average.
Okay, give me a couple that you would talk about right now.
I want to see this prosper. I want.
Okay.
I wouldn't give it a number, but I want a lot of subscribers on the YouTube. I want to be doing well in my new house. Want a couple of raises. and maybe a prospect for a wife by then. 5 years,
Okay,
maybe even married by then.
hopefully. So, would you say your goals that you had in high school lined up to where you are right now?
If
Search your
you
mic.
asked me in
Okay.
2018 when I graduated high school, where are you going to be in 5 years? I would not have. No, I wouldn't have said this.
Did you still think you were gonna be there? Like, did you ever like expect to like move out of the state and go to a different
A
state?
little bit, but yeah, I bet if you would have asked me back then, like 5 years from then would have been last year. So yeah, I probably could have
Hmm.
told you. I may have told you I'd probably have left the state. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't even really remember what, because people used to ask us that a
So,
lot back in high school. Like 5 years from now, where do
yeah,
you
they
see yourself?
absolutely. And I would be like, oh, I'm gonna be chilling in the Bahamas with my super hot wife, and I'm gonna be retired.
Big
It's
old
these
tits.
delusional goals. But I mean, I think that's the problem. Like we think goals are fantasies, right? Or dreams, but they're not. They're like these goals that we set that are realistic, and we have to have a plan to accomplish them. Right? And so I think like a couple of my goals, right? Like for example, like making like this like actually work in the long run. So that's why like I put in the time to like clip shit and like do shorts and make clips of the video and just little things like that that I know like we can improve every podcast, right? And so hopefully that works out in the long run. But I think if you put enough time into anything, it will work out, right? If you're like really looking
Well,
at
not
it
enough
and
time,
like
enough
finding
like
out,
genuine effort.
yeah, effort, time, and like actually like looking at what you're doing wrong, right? Because if we keep doing it and we never improve and we think like, oh, that first episode was golden, we just got to keep doing the same exact thing. It's like, no, we have a lot of room for improvement. So
Right.
I think that's probably my main goal. My main goal is to make this like my actual living, bro. Like I want to interview like a bunch of people, you know, and I think that would be sick. Second would probably be to be a father and to have kids and
Five
to
years
raise them
from
right.
now.
I want to be a father within 5 years,
Really.
but for that I have to find. So we'll see how that goes. And I think that's one of the toughest goals, right, to actually accomplish. Like, wouldn't you agree? Is to like get married and to find like a wife because like part of it is on you, like part of it isn't. It's like timing and just like
Yeah.
like it has to match. I think like that's like the one goal that I think we all have that is the most out of our control.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that. It is the most out of our control.
Yeah, but we leave it up to God,
And not like
and He
completely out
will.
of our control, but more than any other goal. Yes.
Yeah, it's not completely out of our control, but yeah. So, well, I hope we do accomplish our goals, and I hope
We'll check
we
back on
keep
this.
working towards them.
We'll clip that
Yeah,
section out just for us and save it somewhere.
yeah, exactly. It's more of a reflection, because maybe, hopefully, in 5 years, we're still doing this, and we can look back on this episode and say, where did we go? Where have we been for the last 5 years? Because if I look back 5 years ago, right, I was 19, just graduated high school. I was at Michigan State, and
Crazy.
at that point, I remember I thought my main goal was to graduate college. That didn't happen. Like, I mean, of course, like I can't remember who I was talking to at the time, but I thought was gonna work out with her, and I
You think
thought
it's
my
gonna work
investments were
out
gonna
with it? You
work
think it's
out.
gonna work out with every single one of them?
I mean,
You
but
are
everybody
fuck.
does though, doesn't
I
it?
don't
Like,
think so.
don't
You're
like,
fucking delusional.
no, man. Don't throw shade on me, bro. I have hope that every girl I talk to, it's gonna work out, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't, and I'm
I
fine with
mean,
it,
there's like
But
there's like hope that it's gonna work out to like a certain extent, But you think you're like getting married to all of them.
That's not true. Not anymore, bro. I used to be like that a lot more in high school, but not anymore.
Okay.
Like, bro, this last girl I was talking to, I knew I wasn't gonna marry
Yeah,
her,
yeah, yeah. Her that's different
but
though.
the last couple girls I talked to, I didn't think I was gonna marry them.
Couple. Oh,
My
maybe.
ex, my ex, my ex in Michigan, yeah, but like after that, no.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I thought it would like, but it depended on a lot of factors. I knew that, bro. Like she was still very immature and stuff. So, and I still am. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, would you say like you are the man you want to be? No, right?
No.
Of
Right.
course not. And I don't think we ever reach that man, which is like a good thing
Yeah.
because like you're always striving for better. So
Right.
like we're never gonna reach the man we want to be, but hopefully every day we're a step closer to that man. Like the man I want to be doesn't vape. The man I want to be doesn't gamble on the weekends. Like the man I want to be doesn't do that shit. So that's why I need to new it. What's it called? Next podcast, we won't be vaping anymore, ladies and gentlemen. We already said it. We already said it. So
Yeah.
you gotta stick
Yes, we
to it.
did.
You gotta stick to it. But yeah, that's a little bit about that.
Yeah, and I
So
think the next episode will be Thomas will be right here.
yeah, be in person pod. We'll see how that goes. But
Yeah, I know. I was
I
thinking
have a
about how
couple
like
more
the
topics.
camera will have to look for that.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, like
Maybe
we
you
always do.
bring your camera along with you.
Okay, I'll bring my camera. I'll bring my laptop too, and then we'll see where it goes. How we do it.
Because
Yeah,
maybe it would be best to have like two angles, but we might have to share a mic. But we'll see how it goes. We'll figure it out.
yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So the next question I had was because I mean, watching this Christian movie got me thinking. And the next question I had was, where is Jesus? I mean, of course, I answered he's here as, but like, doesn't it seem like these past, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, whatever you want to call it, people have been shifted more away from God and religion and Jesus, and they've been calling like religion like something that we created, and they're shifting away from that, and because of that, they mostly shift away from their values too.
Yeah.
Like, would you agree that our society is a lot more about oneself than how it used to be?
Yeah, but I think it's like pockets of that. I don't know. I'd say I don't
What do you
really
mean
know.
pockets? What do you mean pockets?
I just don't think there's like an overall missing that's missing. I think it feels like it's less because people might not talk about it as much, but like if you look for it, it's there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, don't you ever like wonder what it would be like to grow up in like the 80s or the 70s or the 60s or the
Yeah, of course.
50s and how
Or the
different like
Roman
we would
Empire.
be?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy, dude. That would be sick. What like if you could grow up in like any like era, which era would you grow up in? Like if you could pick.
Probably right now.
I knew your ass was gonna say that shit. But at like another area, like another time,
Maybe
but
like
right now,
50 years ago.
15. You see me, bro? I would love to have grown up in like the Jesus era and like get to meet him, bro. Be one of his like disciples and
Yeah, but just think
apostles.
about
I
like
think that would
the
be so
poverty
cool.
back then. Like you were dying from like
Yeah.
the natural cold and shit.
Yeah, that would suck. But like you wouldn't think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you live like in a time, you don't really think about it as like it being like out of the normal, right?
Yeah,
So
right,
it's
but we
like
get to
you just
reflect
get
on that
used to it.
now and decide where we'd want to go back to. And I
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
want to
that's
go
where I
too
would
much
want to go
further
back.
back from where we are now. Like Captain America days,
Oh,
like that's where I'm trying to go back. Like
Captain America
like
days, yeah,
50s,
good
60s.
one.
Like when comic
No,
books
bro.
first
If I
started
could be
coming
one
out.
of Jesus, dude, if I could be one of Jesus' the disciples, I think that would be just man.
You'd be no more than the
I
common
wouldn't.
Judas. All right, dog. No, that's crazy. That's
That is such a fucked up thing to say, bro. That is such a fucked up thing to say. How are you gonna say that, bro? That's so fucked up, man. I want to cut it right now. I'm actually hurt. I'm actually hurt, man. The fact that you said that is actually crazy, bro. Actually crazy. But we're gonna move on from that. And so tying into this is back then people would always save, right? Like not have sex until marriage, right? Back then a lot more than do now. So a question I have is, do you think it's possible? Of course it's possible, but how I want to phrase it is like as a man, right? If I want to save, like I don't want to have sex until marriage, right? But as a man, I know if she wants to, I'm most likely gonna not say no, right? And so, do you think people should not have sex until marriage? And like, how likely do you think it is? And like the time that we live now to actually do that?
how likely it is. I don't know. That seems like a person to person thing. I mean, I think you could strive for it. I don't think it's impossible. Like I know people that have done that. But I don't know. Like I haven't up until this point.
Do you think when you meet your wife, you're gonna want to wait until marriage?
I think it just depends on who we are when we meet. I don't know.
Do you think it's beneficial for the relationship?
I think it really just depends on the people. I don't know. Like if who it ends up being, if like if that I think it depends. I don't know.
Like the thing, like I'm
In
trying to
most
get to.
cases, no. In most cases, no. I think it's very neutral. I don't think it does good or bad.
So you don't think it matters?
Yeah.
So okay, so you don't think it matters at all whether a person waits until marriage or not? Like maybe not for
If
like
they
the
haven't
relationship
already, I'm saying
itself.
in my case. I'm saying in my case, it doesn't matter
What do you mean?
for
So
me because
just
I
because
already
like
haven't waited.
okay, but oh okay. So you're saying like people that haven't had sex, it's good for them to wait.
Yeah,
But people
they
that
should
have
wait.
already had sex,
I mean,
if they
I
find a
don't.
wife,
I just
like
don't think it's not that it doesn't matter. I just don't think it's gonna move the needle.
yeah, I disagree. I think it does matter. I think it does matter for the relationship. Um, but I don't think we can see it, right? So for like when I already have sex with her, right, and then I get married, and then it works out in the end, I don't know how it would be if we had waited. You know what I'm saying? And so you don't really see how it would be the other way. So that's why like it's hard to compare like whether or not it would be better or worse. But I think it would be better if everybody waited until marriage. There'd be a lot less STDs and shit.
Well,
And I
yeah,
think
of
there would be a lot more
course. I
marriage.
mean, yeah, but I'm saying as somebody that's already had sex before, I mean, it's just like different.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's because of like what time we live in, right? But I think waiting is always a good option.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do think it's a good option. I just don't know if it really affects it if the two people have already done it outside of their own relationship.
Mm. I think it does. I think it does. But going into that, a little bit different. Probably the last question I'm gonna ask, because then the other two questions aren't really questions. But this question is, do you think drugs are demonic?
Some of them,
Like
like weed and mushrooms, I don't think so. Cause I think those,
because those are the ones you do, or because
I mean, those are the ones that are just natural. Are there any other natural ones?
they're not even natural, bro. We can't even say weed is natural anymore.
I mean,
Just
not
like
anymore,
mushrooms,
but
bro.
like when it was first discovered, like yeah, it kind of was.
Yeah, but like when you find something, right, that's natural, we don't just eat it. We smoke it. That's not natural. Smoking something is not natural. So like we
Yeah, I
can
guess
say
that's
like
pretty
the
true.
thing is natural, you know what I'm saying? But like how we do it, how we intake these things isn't natural.
And how we use them as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
but like mushrooms, you just eat mushrooms. Some guy was
Yeah,
just
mushrooms.
some guy was just picking mushrooms one day and ate the wrong one. Just fucking got fucked up.
I know, I know that's kind of crazy. And they said, I'm gonna make $1 million off this. But do you think like heroin, cocaine,
Yeah, no, that shit's
ecstasy,
crazy.
Xanax?
Yeah, no, 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 no. That shit's fucked up.
What are your thoughts on DMT?
I don't really have any. I know a couple people that tried it. I never want to try it. Those are my thoughts on it. I think it's crazy.
Back
Same
then I
with like
wanted to try it.
salvia. You ever heard of salvia?
Yeah, salvia or ashwagandha. Is that ashwagandha or no? That's
I have
different,
no
right?
idea. I've just heard of salvia because of Joe Rogan, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. He talks about all of them. He loves talking about drugs. I mean, shit. I mean, I think they're pretty interesting too. I think DMT is one of the most interesting, right? Because
Yeah,
like, have you talked to your buddies that
because like
like went
everybody
through it?
says like the same thing. It's like it takes you to like this other. It's like it takes you to the parallel universe that's like here without us knowing.
It's
Everybody
almost
said
like yeah, it's a different dimension, right?
right.
And you can almost see yourself. I don't know. It's crazy.
Or like
And
ketamine
like
therapy. Like that's gotten
ketamine therapy.
therapy.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of
I
that.
don't even really know what ketamine is. I just this is actually from Theo Vaughn's podcast. But yeah, he said it just like kind of took him out of his body. He got like an IV drip of ketamine and like had like a therapist like talk him to like his traumas. And he said it was kind of crazy, like an out of body experience.
Do you think like therapy like that like works? Like, I mean, yeah, it could work for like some people. Do you think it's the best option though?
I don't know. Like they
It's
say
the best.
people that like do like ayahuasca, that's like a good therapy for them.
Yeah. But I think it's a lie, like whatever that is. Like, you know how DMT, right, is released when we're born and when we die, right?
Right.
And so like I think like people when they take DMT, it's like, well, I'm gonna kind of see, like a glimpse of that. But it's like it's a synthetic drug that we created to replicate that, but it's not even it's
Well, if
it's
it has
not
the
that,
same chemical makeup and like compound, then I think it's the same.
But no, no, no. And here's why, because when you die, you're at a different point. You're about to die. So when they releases then, it's completely different. But when you're born, right? And it releases when you're born, you're like an infant. You're a baby. That's why we don't even remember that. You know what I'm saying? Because we were just born. Like we were a different person. So I think because we were a different person, like just because it has the same chemical makeup doesn't make it the same thing. And I think also like when
I
something is
mean,
released
maybe
naturally
it
from
could
your
make the
body,
effects of it differently, but it if it's the same chemical makeup, like if everything's the same, like if you looked at it under a microscope and it's identical, then it is what it is. All in all, it's DMT.
I think it's different, bro, because when something is naturally produced, it's different from when we make it, even if it has the same chemical makeup.
Okay, I don't agree with that, but I get it. I get what you're saying, but I think that's irrelevant. I think you're making it deeper than it really is.
Oh, I think it's really deep, bro.
Yeah, I
Because, dude,
know.
like, okay, let me tell you,
I know you
like,
think.
let me give you an example. Let me give you an example, right? So
Okay.
let's say I'm trying to think of an example. I can't think of any examples. So, like, let's say for example, like, okay, I can't think of any. I'm trying to think of it. I can't think. But I think when something is released inside of you, it's different than consuming it. Even if that thing is the same thing.
But if it does the same thing to your brain, then it's the same thing.
but we don't know, right? So like it
Then how
just
do we
because
know it happened
something
in the first place?
that it was released when we're born and when we die,
Yeah. So how do we know?
well, I mean, that's what they say, right?
And so how did they measure that? How did they test that? And why can't they do that same test on if you just consume it in the middle of your life?
So I think the test will always be biased, right?
But what then what do you believe in the initial test for? If that's what they say, that means they tested it. Because think about it, you breathe, right?
Yeah.
Oxygen. Oxygen to the brain, to the blood. Like boom boom. Or to the
Okay.
blood and to the brain. So like when you
Okay.
and that breath has DMT in it, it's going straight to the brain.
Okay. I mean, I see what you're saying. I just think when something is
I mean,
released from
you can't
within
say the
you,
test is going to be biased, but you believe the original test.
like, what do you mean you believe the original test, bro? Now
So
you're
you
making me
believe the
fucking
test that
confused,
says
bro.
that DMT is even in the brain originally and is released when you're born and when you die. So you believe that. But I told
Okay.
you, what if
Yeah.
they did a test on how it acts in the brain when you're born, how it acts in the brain when you're dead, and it's and then how it acts in your
And they
brain in the middle
replicate
of
it.
your and yeah, and they replicate it. And then you said that test would be biased.
Well, because I think when you try to replicate it, just because it has the same exact chemical makeup, it won't be the same exact thing.
Okay, I don't understand why, but okay.
Because it's released from within you, bro. That's why.
Yeah,
Because
but if
we
you
don't
can
we don't create when like we don't decide when it's released. It just releases.
right.
So it's like, yeah, like we can try to replicate it, but like for example, right? Do you think we'll be able to replicate the soul, right? Do you believe like every human being has a soul and a conscious?
Right. No, we cannot replicate the soul.
Okay, but what if we found like this area that we think is the soul and we replicate it and I
But
create
that's
somebody exactly like me?
this is completely no. This example is horrible
No, it's a good example. Why is it a bad example, bro? It's a good
because
example. Why?
there's no like tangible thing we have found to be the soul.
What if we did?
Then it would then if we could replicate it and figure out a way. Okay, so we replicated DMT and you can take it and it can produce effects. So if we could replicate a soul and shove it in a stuffed animal on some fucking Bleach type shit, you don't watch Bleach, but it's an anime where they have like a fake synthetic soul. They stuff it into a lion, a little stuffed lion. But either way, we put it into a teddy bear, and that teddy bear jumps up like fucking Ted and starts walking around talking. I'd be like, okay, they may have replicated a soul here, but with no test.
But wouldn't you think that's different? Even though it's like the same chemical makeup, wouldn't you think it's still different from a human soul?
Yeah, but that's of
Okay,
course it's different.
okay, that's exactly my point. Okay, okay, okay.
But like, of course it's
That's
different.
all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. I'm
No,
right,
we're
you're
not.
wrong. Yeah.
you,
Damn right. That's
I.
exactly what you said. That's
All right,
exactly
yeah,
what you said.
yeah,
You
perfect.
literally just
Okay,
said
let's go on to the
Tom
quotes.
right.
To the quotes. Let's go ahead and end it with the quotes,
That's
everybody.
good.
Because
Yeah,
that
that's
was the
because you don't
most
want to argue
retarded
anymore. That's
shit. You just tried to end the fucking argument. It's clearly different.
okay. Okay.
Okay, so
How? How is it
let's
different,
go,
bro? How is
dude.
it different? How is it different?
Dude, that is so because it's just two different things. Like the soul
I
is
agree
just
they're two
different
different
than
things.
a drug that is produced in the brain and can be synthesized outside in the real world.
But
Like we make
but it's
blood.
it's
Like we make blood too.
okay, I know, but blood is different, right?
Why?
Blood is different. Because blood is different.
Does
Just
it do the
just
same
okay, just
thing? Does
let's
it keep
keep
pumping through your body and keep you alive?
yeah, but like for example, there's different types of blood, right? So I think that is like the same thing as the DMT, right? Like blood is blood, right?
But I'm
But
just saying, if we
there's
can
different
confirm
types.
that it does the same thing in the brain, how is it different?
How could we confirm that? But how could we confirm that?
They do a test, and like
How would they do the
look at what the
test?
brain does. I don't fucking know how they do a test.
I think it would be impossible to
But
confirm,
if
bro,
it's something
because you would
can't,
need.
then there's no way they can confirm it is released at birth and released at death if they can't test it. If somebody does it in the middle of their life, then it doesn't exist in at birth or at death.
Okay, all right. We're gonna do some research on DMT and come back to you on the next pod, all right? Because I'm interested in this and I want to know a little bit more about it. So, because you keep talking about these fucking tests, bro. Like,
But I'm
I
just
like
saying,
you
how
don't
would
need.
the research? How would we know? So somebody did a test or did research to say DMT is released at birth, DMT is released at death. Who did the
Yeah,
research?
but like,
Maybe it's not a
okay,
test, but it's research that got done.
okay, yeah, it was research, but they said there's a chemical that's released when you're born and when you die. That's DMT, right? Maybe they said that's DMT because it's the
Okay,
closest
so
thing to actual like DMT that we found, right? But it's not the same exact thing, right? But it's like very,
then
very,
it's not the
very
same
close to the
thing.
point where we can say it's DMT, right? But if man, if it's released from within you, it's different from when consuming it, right? So let's say, for example, you released a form of THC when you
Okay.
were born and when you die. And then you consume THC. And you're like, oh, now I know how I felt when I was born or when I'm about to die. It's like, no, that's completely that's completely wrong. Like just because like you take a substance and that substance is released from within you at two different points in your life doesn't mean that substance will have the same effect, doesn't mean even if it's the same exact chemical, it doesn't like it doesn't mean it's going to have the same effect because you can't ever know what the effect will actually be when you're about to die and when you're born.
Right. Yeah, I honestly forgot why we were even arguing this.
Yeah, me too, bro. Yeah,
Because
me
I
too.
forgot because you just said that and I agreed with that. It's probably not going to be the same effect, but it is the same thing.
Okay, yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Okay, then
Okay,
we just wasted. I don't think we ever established what we were arguing. So give me your fucking
no,
quotes.
but that's
Give
fine.
me your quotes.
All in all, it's all in all. All
All in
right.
all, we're a couple of fucking retards, I guess. That just wasted 25 minutes. Go ahead.
Hey, that's the description. That's the description on the YouTube. Just a couple of degenerates about a podcast about it all. All right. So here I have five quotes, and two of them are mine.
Okay.
Two of them are mine. Try to guess which two are mine. All right.
Okay.
Beware the man in the t-shirt, not the man in the suit. Number two, time is gonna pass either way, whether you spend it how you want or you let it slip by. Number three, be a fountain, not a drain. Number four, keeping yourself stuck in a loop, other people for what's on you. Number, oh, there's six quotes. There's six quotes. Yeah, there's six quotes. Sorry. Number five, the only way to know yourself is to know God. And number six, the two most important days in your life, the day you were born and the day you find out why. Which two are mine?
Hmm.
I'll say them again. I'll say them because
No,
there's a
give me
lot.
like the last three again.
I'll say all of them again. I'll say all of
Okay,
them again.
okay.
Number one, beware the man in the t-shirt, not in the suit. Number two, time is going to pass either way, whether you spend it how you want or you let it slip by. Number three, be a fountain, not a drain. Number four, keep yourself stuck in a loop, blaming other people for what's on you. Number five, the only way to know yourself is to know God. And number six, the two most important days in your life, the day you were born and the day you find out why.
I'm gonna guess yours is one and five.
1 and 5. So
1 and 5
beware
or
the man
one
in
and
the
four?
t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah, 1 and 5, 1 and 5. Yeah, yeah. Beware the man in the t-shirt, not the suit.
Not man, not suit. And then the only way to know yourself is to know God.
Yeah.
So you guessed one of them. The other one you did not.
Which one was right?
So so beware the man in the t-shirt, not the man in the suit is not mine.
Oh wow.
The other one that's mine is for keeping yourself stuck in a loop, blaming other people for what's on you.
I thought for sure, dude. Yeah, you throw me through a loop. Like some weeks you come with like something kind of good, and then some weeks like I'm like, oh no, that's from fucking Teletubbies or something. That's like a Teletubby song.
Oh man. But yeah,
All right.
again, did what I had to throw him off the hook. No, not off the hook, off the path. That's- uh,
All right. And all
anyways,
in all,
it's always a
that's
pleasure.
really it. Always a pleasure. And I'll see you
All in
in
all,
like 2 days, right?
yeah, 2 days. Yeah. All in all, that's
Shaka
that.
Bra.
Peace out. Love y'all.
Peace out, everybody.